Well, it's Ronnie Boy again. I'd just like to address some questions some of you had. I was reminded again today when I got a couple comments. Don't have time to read them so much anymore, but some asked about my herd feeding practices and such. Well, from the time I was a hired man on the farm for somebody else, they wanted, they wondered how come I chose to feed the cows like that. I'm talking in particular on a farm that I ran for a fella. And I says, "You like the results that I'm getting?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "Then don't whine and complain about it." He said, "Well, you opened up that saddle there, and I was saving that for winter and this and that." I says, "I get paid from a percentage of the milk check, so that I'm going to spend my efforts in the dairy herd. All the other stuff I do for you and everything's beside the point. I get paid by how big the milk check is. That's where my efforts are." Okay, going to back to the matter at hand. I feed mostly silage and hay, and I have ground high moisture ear corn I put in the silo, and I top dress with some minerals and a little bit of soybean meal, stuff like that. That's about it. Dry cows don't need nearly that much. They don't need all the protein. In fact, like I said, from the high moisture ear corn, I after the ear and the corn thereon is off from the stalk, I chop the stalks and put them in the silo. Still a little moisture in it, and that's why I feed mostly for dry cows. They don't need all that protein. They have healthier stomachs without what they need is roughage. Same with the dairy herd, the milking cows. Now, those who are trying to see how many pounds of milk they can get a day, that isn't the whole answer. See, I get paid a premium for the quality of my milk as well. I mean, the high butter fat content and low somatic cell count. In fact, I can't remember when they even had a rating of mine. The lowest rating they will ever give, they just say less than 3,000. That's what mine always is. Way to do that: keep mastitis out of your herd, and keep your milking utensils clean and your herd healthy. It's really all you got to do. Then, as far as the butterfat content and people trying to feed for production, their cows don't last them that long for a milking grade cow. They get burned out right away. The cow, what the hell is that? Because they're just trying to get all the milk they can. The farmer is. Now, my cows will last me in my herd for years longer than a lot of them around here. Well, look at it this way. My average herd average is about 80 pounds a day. Some quite a bit more, some less, but my average. And I can milk them cows, for a few more years and come out the same as them milking their cows for just a year or two because they burn them out. Just like some athletes. Oh, they're hot shots at first, but they wear themselves out. Now, I forget where I was going after this. Gotta speed my brain up. But anyway, you can't you can't overdo a good thing. The law of marginal returns. If a little is good, a lot isn't necessarily better. I can spend less money in the rations I feed my cows, and over the long run be better off than someone who force feeds for production. It costs less to feed them, and your level of production stays the same, or even better with a healthy herd. In fact, the butterfat content, the milk inspector asked me, says, "You got some jerseys in your herd?" My butterfat content is 4.2. Now that's high for Holsteins. I said, well, it is. It's the way you feed them. You can't have too much fat in their ration. Feed them more fat so they have more butterfat. No, don't work that way. Okay, enough about that. Hired men. I told you Amos's my hired man now. He's a good one, too. He really is. Well, you don't have to tell him everything what to do. He said himself, I'm doing everything I used to do, and now I'm getting paid for it. But he came in while I was milking the other day. He says, Ronnie, what do you do to a hired man who screws up? I said, I don't know. I said, I might have to suspend him with pay for a couple of days. He says, at least 2 or 3. He did something that he didn't do it. It happened. It would have happened to me or anybody else. But I trust him, and it's not like he wasn't being careful, and he wasn't trying to do anything wrong. Like I said, would have happened to me too, and it has. But he felt so bad. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. Anyway, he says I had some bunch of barbed wire and fence posts delivered. We told him to put it down there in Amos' shed. And he says, what do you do with all that barbed wire and fence posts? It ain't just any regular fence post either. It's 6x6 treated post. It'll be six. I plan on 6 wires on the fence. I'm going to make a couple new pastures and divide herd up in their gestation cycle periods, like, so there you get back to how to feed them again. Anyway, he says, well, it's your ball game. You know, if I was younger, what I would do, I'd build a new barn right between 2 farms, rather than milking in 2 barns down the, I call it Amos' place, and this place, mine. I'd just build 1 new barn right between the 2 and have the pasture set up and feeding bunks and everything. Too old to start that now. But anyway, rambling on here. If you want to know more about how to farm, read my book. Oh, it's not in print yet. It's ready to, pretty much. I had even some of you who have read it sent it electronically to them. Got good feedback on some things I should change, maybe, and things he never really knew that before. Yeah. People who have the farming interest might read it, but I can't get anybody to publish it because they don't know that it'll sell very well. And to print just a few will cost more than printing a whole bunch, and it's not financially feasible. Maybe someday, I don't know. Anyway, this is the Roddy Boy Show. Ask me anything. You can ask. Goodbye.